hello Facebook. I'm going to my head's going to go from one to the other to say good evening and welcome to Come Paint With Me. And good evening, welcome to Come Paint With Me Facebook. We are live on Facebook and Instagram. Bear with me a second. I am going to share it on my other page. Bear with me a sec. Hope you're all doing well this evening. Hello. Tell me who you are, Boo Barney, because I think you're saying that you're a dog, but I'm sure that I have met you. I think it was in Skelmersdale. And hello to whoever we've got on here. I'm just going to wave on here. So for those of you who this is your first time of connecting with Come Paint With Me, this is a program that I do every Monday night at 8 o'clock. We are a little bit like Julie. Yes, I remember you from the painting group. Very nice to see you. I now live in Manchester, so that's why I've disappeared. But this is a program that I do every Monday evening. I'm a little bit late getting on now. Tell you about that in a minute. But Come Paint With Me, it's on YouTube as well. And we now do it online, but we also do it in person. And so it's just where you join me to do a bit of painting. I never kind of know how it's gonna turn out, and the emphasis is more on the process than actually what it looks like. Otherwise I'll feel like it's a bit of an exam that I'm doing in front of everybody. But the idea with Come Paint With Me is that people can eventually have a go with me. I'm thinking about doing a Zoom room very soon, because a couple of years ago when I lived in Skem, I did this program all the way through the pandemic, and I had people on a Zoom call who were actually painting with me. Some of them have never painted in their lives. Some people have never really done art in their lives. However, during those Zoom calls, they had a go, and I also had people who were seasoned painters who had been doing art for ages, and it was a way of just creating a bit of community, even though it was online at the time, and an opportunity to be creative together, to encourage and inspire each other in doing art. And for anybody who does art, we all know that art, it just gives you that lift. It just makes you feel like you've achieved something, even if it's a few squiggles on a canvas or a piece of paper. There's just that sense that you've achieved something, and there's just something really therapeutic about hitting a brush against a canvas, drawing, shading. There's just something really therapeutic about it. That's why we have what's called art therapy. I am not an art therapist, however I am thinking about getting trained and qualified to be an art therapist in the foreseeable future. So I'll speak more about that later on, or not later on, another day. And the Come Paint With Me is very much about creating well-being through art and creativity, and also just about really fortifying our mental health. I mean, during the pandemic, that was something that we really needed to do, but it's a good practice to kind of carry on with. So comment, like, share this video, whether you're on Facebook or you're on Instagram. Please comment, like and share. I have a YouTube channel as well. There'll be a link that I'll post later on. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel, because as soon as I get to 50, I'm halfway there. As soon as I get to 50 subscribers, I will be able to post straight onto YouTube. It'll just means you won't have this kind of looking at two cameras. I'll just be able to do one, and then I'll post it on various places. So tonight we are doing an autumn painting. This is what I created last week. So you've got your greens and your browns and your yellows in there, and I just wanted to do a background last week, but this week we're going to be painting on some leaves. So I've got my white. I'm planning to just paint on some outlines with paint the outline of leaves. That is my plan. So the lady that, I don't know if she's on here or she was on here, I remember her being a phenomenal artist. I don't know whether, I think she might have another page, but yes, really, I've just known some really really amazing artists in my career, and so yeah. So I mean, like I said before, come paint with me. It's not so much about the what it looks like. You only need to go onto my Instagram and my Facebook, and you'll see a lot of my paintings on there. Some of my most recent paintings. In fact, I've been doing a so I just want to show you something that's quite funny. So on my Instagram this week, you're going to see a joke about this. Oh, you can't see. Can you see? No, you can't see. But basically, one is like water and one is tea. And you've got to be really careful that you don't put your brush in your tea cup. It's very easy because this is also looks like a teacup, doesn't it? But it's been it's had water, like paint water. It's got paint water. But sometimes when you're doing when you're painting, you can the paint water can also look a bit like tea. It's a bit of an artist's joke. I'm just gonna. So yes, so had a very busy day. Managed to do a bunch of social media for the whole week, which is very exciting. So just going to paint on some shapes basically, and they may stay on there. You know the problem when you put too much. So my husband is in the other room. I think he's watching this in the other room. He was on an episode a few weeks ago, but I got a call. He's got basically I've been in the hospital all day. To cut a long story short, but I was able to do some kind of like businessy stuff from the hospital, because hospitals now have Wi-Fi, and I was able to do loads of stuff for the week, which was really good because I was a bit concerned that I'd not be able to do anything, but here we go, I did. So praise God for that. But yes, so he has a very I'm getting white everywhere, and I need some tissues, but I don't think I've got any tissues with me. Just have to wipe it somewhere. That's the problem with white, it goes absolutely everywhere. Very little amount of water. Do I have any usually I keep a rag with me so I can not cover myself in paint. Yeah, so he got a very, I'd say quite a, and it's a new job, but quite a dangerous job. So I got a call this morning to say, would I pick him up and take him to the hospital? I was like, what? So we spent the rest of the afternoon in a hospital, which was not fun at all. But thankfully, yes, this is not looking like leaves, I get that, but I may need to try something else, but we're going to go with this tonight. If anybody comes on here, then feel free to comment, to ask me a question. We've had, a few years ago we had some amazing discussions, all sorts of things. We talked a lot about mental health. I need to put some more water on that. Oh, My husband's like my biggest champion, my biggest cheerleader. I actually going to be doing some events in the near future, so I took a picture of leaves on the floor, and in some ways one online would be so much easier, but I'm not giving up with this. I just want to get some outlines, and the best way to do it is with oh my word, Mauricio. Hello, Mauricio. Wow, I think that is my Mexican friend. I'm trying to, there we go. Wow, Mauricio. I feel like I need to show you, Mauricio, that I can paint. That you judge my painting skills on tonight, because yeah, you think I've gone backwards since we met last. But what was I going to say? Yes, I'm doing paint and sip for a friend in beginning of November. That's not right. Beginning of November, and then I'm doing on Saturday. I'm painting at like so kind of a church event, but it's in the middle of town. So I'm going to paint. I don't know what I'm going to paint yet, to be honest. But the idea is that it's something that is has kind of hope attached to it. So yeah. The last one I did a butterfly one for. Well, it's quite a while ago now. It's my favourite painting, and it's like I find it really hard to sell. Like, I will sell it, and everybody who people have bought prints of this painting, but it's one of my favourite paintings, and I find it really hard to let go. But I will let go of it. I will sell it, because I don't think I've been trying hard enough to sell it. I think if I try a little bit harder, I'll sell it, because it is one of my best paintings ever. But yeah. So that was last time I was doing this sort of like event in Manchester. So I've got to kind of come up with another idea. And in fact, in the next few weeks, I'll do a little reel on this painting, and I'll put it out for sale out there, because the story behind it is really inspiring. So I haven't got an image yet. I'm going to be praying this week to get an image for this Saturday, because that's how I get most of my images, is by kind of praying, and yeah, God just gives me them. Because I did say that on here I was going to be a lot more authentic. Okay, if you use this is going to help a lot more. I can actually see what I'm doing now. I've got this over here. So this now is not going to be a abstract, but I find that even within normal paintings, there's like an abstract that almost like you can find the patterns in something. So what I'm doing right now is within these leaves, I'm trying to just find the different shapes. And that's a really good way that's a really good way of painting, of like just finding the shapes. It helps me to kind of recreate a picture. If I'm needing to do something kind of quite what we call figurative, I use shapes. So I'm just using the shapes here to recreate these leaves. So what was I saying? Yes. So that's Saturday. I'm doing Manchester City Centre with Manchester Gospel Fest. I'm going to be painting with them. Then on the 2nd of November, I'm doing a house party, a private paint and sip party. If you wanted to go to that, you would need to speak to me, and I would need to speak to the owner. And then on the 18th of November, we have Come Paint With Me in person, around the corner, in a beautiful, picturesque location that will probably be dark, called Hollingworth Lake. I literally live around the corner, and we're going to be having that event again. It was a lovely, lovely, lovely event last time. We've already got some people signed up, so do go on Eventbrite and book in to the next one, because tickets are starting to go. Yes, please, if you want to go, and you know me, and when I say you know me like, you know, you live around the corner and you see me all the time, then talk to me about it. But yes, this is the moment when I realised that the photograph that I took is a bit blurred. Oh well, such is life. I'm going to move my water a bit closer, as I am really concerned about putting my paintbrush in my tea. That's what I don't want to do. Don't want to put it in my tea. It's just not good. So, whilst I'm doing this, let me just show you what we did at Hollingworth Lake last time, or what I did. Actually, I did this the day of it. So that was what I did the day of the event, just before we got there, kind of like, almost like here is an example of what you could paint. Now, I have to say, I haven't decided what we're painting at the next Come Paint With Me in person event by the lake. So, want to say, the event that's going to be happening, there we go, the event that's going to be happening on the 18th of November, you will not have to sit outside, okay? I don't know why, you know, some people decided not to come to the last one, and it might be because people thought that you had to sit outside. Well, when we did the last one, it was kind of September, so it was the beginning of the autumn. It was a bit cold, but not that cold. But the next one we have, I know it will be a little bit colder. So there is no way I would make you sit outside. That would just be mean. And why would I charge you money to go and get very cold outside? No, not going to do that. So it's an indoor event. You will be able to paint from indoors at Hollingworth Lake in Rochdale, Manchester, UK. This is one of my abstract pieces, but again, this is not from Hollingworth Lake. It's not from Come Paint With Me. It was just something I did a couple of months ago. This is one I did in person while we were there that needs to be finished. But yes, I have so many paintings that need to be finished. And you might have seen the back. This is what we've done recently, which still do need to finish, but very pleased with this one. There we go. That's what we were doing with Come Paint With Me a few weeks ago. Still need to finish it. Do you know what? I was going to finish it today. If I had not been in the hospital, I may well have finished this, but there we go. I was in the hospital, so I couldn't. You may have figured out I love painting butterflies. I just love butterflies. They're just so beautiful. They're so colourful. They're so pretty. You know, they speak of freedom. So just love butterflies. But we're going to be having a butterfly series. I'm going to do a series of butterflies. But this is what you call my side hustle. I don't paint all the time. A few years ago, I was a full-time artist and I did a whole Christmas card collection. I'm planning to do another Christmas card for Peachy's Womb Cancer Trust that have something to do with the story that I will be telling in a few weeks' time. You'll start to see lots on my Instagram and social media about my story and how some of the things that I've been alluding to over the past few weeks. If you followed my social media, you'll be able to start pulling the pieces together to what I want to talk about. And I will be taking a whole episode of Come Paint With Me to talk about it in a few weeks' time, before we do the next in-person Come Paint With Me. Which, you know what, I had this most amazing live, like for the Come Paint With Me last event. The live was just brilliant. It just looked so good. And then I pressed the wrong button and it deleted. But now, if I do that, it won't matter so much, because I've already set it so it saves all my videos, all my lives. So that won't ever happen again. It was absolutely gutting. I was so gutted. It was like so gutted. I can't express how gutted I was. But yeah, there we go. So Reggie is writing comments. That's my husband, everybody. Who is my biggest fan, which is nice. That your husband's your biggest fan, or your significant other is your biggest fan. So he's writing comments, even though he is in a lot. I know he's in a lot of pain. Bless him. You might have seen him on here. He's writing a book. I can't remember what the book's called. Identity Crisis, I think it's called. Yes, and he's also writing another book. He's got the story of his what do you call it? His biography. He's also, which is pretty epic. I'm writing a chapter for that as we speak. Started it the other day, and yes, and I need to get faster. I know I need to get faster with this, but as always, I'm just kind of enjoying myself, and that's what I think, for me, for Come Paint With Me, that's what this is about. It's not so much, it's about, having a chat. It's about the process. One of the kind of art type things that I do is called process art, and it's just kind of like, you don't even know what you're going to get until you kind of finish it. In fact, that red one I just showed you, that was process art, because it just kind of evolved into something. And that's the thing with process art, it kind of evolves into something. You don't even know what you're going to produce until you're like halfway through it. Now you should be able to start to see kind of patterns building up. I'm going to put some greens and yellows, and these patterns are probably going to change somewhat. I mean, that's the amazing thing about about Instagram. That's the amazing thing about acrylic paint. You can paint over it really easily. So if you make a mistake, or you're like, actually it doesn't actually look like that, it looks like something else, then it's okay. You can go back over it and do something slightly different. So I kind of need, right, we're going to start in the corner. I'm going to work our way back down. I need some different kind of brushes. I'm just going to take a sip of tea. You may have seen on one of my stories on Instagram, I put, how do you take your tea? Because of this pun about putting your paintbrush in your cup of tea. But we don't want to do that because it's not fun. So, yes. Right, so I'm going to start with some yellow at the top, and we're going to see where it goes. Going to need a different paintbrush. Going to need a paintbrush that's a little bit thinner. And I said on a post today, I think, or maybe probably not. I said it on a post today that's going to go out later on in the week, and I basically have said that I really want to get some texture paint that my friend introduced me to, and right, need a finish brush. Yep. but then we have like a thicker one, so probably a bit thicker than that. The other thing I don't like to do is I don't like to get my brushes dirty. I'm always scared of like here's all my paintbrushes, everybody. I nearly dropped them. I could drop them somewhere. Maybe that one there. But yes, I would love to become a frequent visitor to what's it called? Cas Arts. You know, I actually tried to. Oh no! Here, for example, is a paintbrush that I have killed. Right. I think there is a way you can resurrect them, but I've like, see the bottom there. Right. I know there's a way you can resurrect them, so I'm going to try and resurrect it, but not right now. I think someone's sending me an Instagram, but they will have to wait. And there's nothing in this white yellow paint, so I'm going to see if I can find. No, that was one. Here we go. Over here. I used that last time. So I do need some more paints, but I want to get some texture paint, so that I can really just have a play around with some different textures. That would be cool. So I'm going to put some yellow in here to keep my eye on the time. Oh wow, half an hour already. Right, some yellow here. And okay, so that's a very light yellow. Do you know what? That's one of the better paints as well. That's System. Is it called System 3? It's meant to be one of the better paints, as opposed to some of the cheap stuff that I do tend to use at times, which is not good, and I shouldn't really use it, but needs most of the times. So that's the thing when you put a really dark background in. It's not always easy to cover over, but we will. We will. Yeah, so I'm gonna. That's the other thing. Sometimes you just have to have quite a few layers. So I'm just going to cover this all. I'm right next to the wall. I'm using my wall as an easel because because last week, for the last 2 weeks, so my friend, another lady called Joy taught me to do that. Let me read your comment. Good point. I don't know how I'd do that because, yeah, I don't know how I would show you the end product when I haven't produced the end product. The only way I'd be able to do that is because obviously this is kind of like, so if you go on my Instagram, on my on any of my pages, in fact there's a post on there that says hello autumn. Okay, I've used the photograph that I'm using tonight for that post. But as an artist, even when you're copying, when you're using photographs for like inspiration, or you're just, even when you're flat copying them, right? Very rarely does it look like the photograph that you're copying, unless you're a photographic artist, and I am not. I am not a photographic artist at all, just not. It always looks different, and you know, some people could say that's down to skill, but I also think that it's down to kind of creative interpretation. And I wouldn't want, for me, if you literally just copy, I mean, you're very skilled in observation and very skilled in like drawing skills, but if you just plain copy a painting or a piece of art and it looks exactly the same, if I'm honest, for me, that's not particularly creative, because you've not used your imagination in any way, shape or form. You've literally just copied it straight over. Now, a lot of people like that. A lot of people want something, they want almost like a photograph on their walls. But for me, you may as well have just taken a photograph, because a painting looks different to a photograph, and it should do. It should look a bit more creative. So I'll take your thing into account. This is a live, so when I could do another program where I do what it looks like at the beginning, and then you see me kind of build up to it. So at some point, when I've got the gear, when I've got the recording stuff and whatever you need to do that, then perhaps I could do that. However, because this is a live, I'm not going to know what it looks like until the finished piece. But if you go and look through my other, my other, I'm just going to do a few more of the yellow ones, because I want to use my yellow up. I don't want to. What was I saying? Go and look at my other YouTubes, my other lives. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Little plug there. Then you will see that you'll see, you can almost see on my Instagram and Facebook pages, you'll see the finished product, and I actually showed it a little bit earlier. In fact, I'll show it again for those that have just joined. So the thing about Come Paint With Me, it's not so much about the finished product, it's about the process to get there, and the just kind of like painting in between. So yeah, that's a very, very important part of it. Very, very important part. And what we're going to encourage, over the next few weeks, I'm going to collect kind of like names and stuff of people who would like to literally have a go. And what we can do is they can come on a Zoom call, and they can just come and have a go. So if you'd like to do that, please let me know. Right, let me show you. The guillotine here is about to fall over. So you can go back and look at the programs. We've been doing this butterfly, like it's not finished completely, but you can pretty much have a good idea of where it's going to go and what it's going to look like. So that'll be being finished very soon, be for sale very soon, and you can go and look at the programs, and you'll be able to see how we got there. So I don't know if anybody who is on at the moment wants to ask me any questions, and I am going to take another sip of my tea. What was I going to say? Yes. I'll put maybe some more yellow. There's a lot of yellow in leaves, isn't there? We like yellow when it comes to leaves. But what I want to do, once I've got rid of this yellow, I'm going to work on that top leaf. I'm just going to try and work into that so that we've got a leaf that looks like a leaf. Because I'm still kind of like just painting some yellow into, so we've got leaves, so we've got the base colour for these leaves. And again, at the moment it's still only looking a bit like a pattern. It's still looking quite abstract, I get that at the moment. And you may need to tune in to next week's to kind of start seeing the more figurative element of this come out. I'm trying to see the patterns that I've done up down. I can't even tell what I've done. Okay. That was probably quite a small one. Yes, I've got this quite next to my wall. I don't want to paint my wall. Dun, 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 dun. And there's one in the middle. Let's do that one there. See that leaf shape there. See what? Yeah, it's just outside blobs at the moment, but right. Also got some yellow left. So let's see which one. Maybe this one here. The thing about paintings and the thing about acrylic paintings is it's just kind of like built up. You just kind of build it up, and there's a point in time where you get to the point and you're like, ah, right, now it looks like something. But for quite often it doesn't look like something to start with. And I know those that are watching kind of want to see it turn into something. And it can be a little bit frustrating when it doesn't straight away, which I get. But for those that have just joined or those that are on again, Come Paint With Me is more about having a go. Got one over here. Got some interesting shapes. Last week we just did kind of like a background, and this week we're trying to put the shapes in, put the leaf shapes in. Right. I've still got loads of yellow paint on my brush. So where shall we put it? So these leaves are kind of all just kind of like go into each other. Right, okay, I think I've used all the yellow on there for now. Fatal mistake is when you leave a paintbrush and it just goes all dry, and I've found one of them, so I'm going to work out how to fix it. Because I don't want to throw it away because it's a really decent paintbrush. I think I've had it for a while. Right, so I'm going to do that one in the corner. Give me a second whilst I right, I need to find a really, and then we're going to find a brown, I think. And some of the thing about being an artist is that you have to be willing for it to go wrong, and sometimes we don't like to admit that something's gone wrong. Oh dear. But it's actually, you know, things do go wrong. Things go wrong all the time. Things go wrong when you're painting, and I think I've learned that, especially when you're doing something live like this, it doesn't always go right, but you just got to keep going, because you know that you'll get there eventually. You know that you'll I just noticed my husband, I can't see what you're going to paint. Oh well. But that's the thing, is that things do go wrong, and so, you know, in life, what we try to do, and very much in social media, we try and pretend that everything's all right, that you know, nothing's wrong. And the other horrible thing is, we tend to judge when something goes wrong. We tend to judge, which is not very nice. But I guess those, like now, not going the way I wanted to go at all. So not sure. I think it might be a bit big actually. Might try and I'm concentrating quite a bit now. Ah, Georgina, my friend, how are you? You remember the come paint with me Zoom meetings we had a few years ago? And I think you did some painting yourself. Okay, I'm gonna try something different. That needs yellow. Do I turn it round a lot? No, definitely the right way. So you know, when I did the butterfly, I exactly knew what I was doing because I do butterflies all the time. Leaves, not so much. But I have done quite a lot of portraits. Not that I've done a portrait live, and doing a portrait, hello, nice to see you. Doing a portrait live would be quite scary. I think I might kill this brush. But well, like I said before, the really good thing about acrylic is you can just rub it out. See, like I'm just rubbing it out. You can use water to rub something out, which is quite useful. So obviously it doesn't look very yellow anymore, but we've just rubbed it out. Now I'm going to see, I think if I put some brown round it, it will change the shape of it a bit. So let's have a go with that. We're just going to, I'm going to put some brown around it. I think rather than the brown outlining, oh, very kind. What's your name? Eternal Bliss Arts. Could you do painting on Zoom? Yeah, I'm thinking about doing that again, Georgina. I'm thinking about having a bit of a Zoom room and putting that on YouTube and Facebook and what have you. But yeah, we'll see. So do let me know if you'd like to be part of this, and we can do a bit of a Zoom room. So that one next to it is actually quite yellow, so I'm going to change my colour. Sunny. Okay, nice to meet you, Sunny. I will have a look later on and see if I can see some of your art. Where are you based, Sunny? Some more yellow. Yellow's a big. Where am I from? From England. England, Manchester. Canada. Wow. Gosh, it must be... Okay, so prayer meeting is something completely different, Georgina. That's on a different channel, a different topic, a different thing altogether. We don't really do prayer meetings on here. Oh. Well, so what time is it in Canada? It must be quite late. No? Right. So one of the things that I think is going to really help is doing the outlines around it in brown, like I've just done. So actually, no, we need 2 paintbrushes. Yeah, we're not gonna with 4 p.m. Oh, okay. It's not late at all. Much later here. Not really late now. It's 4 hours, it would seem. So I'm just gonna get a thing of my tea. Yeah, where am I up to? Right, so I'm going to use some of the brown to do like an outline, because that seems to quite work. But and then what we do is it looks like we have like a... This one here though is brown, but it's going to need a lot of white in it as well. So what kind of art do you do, Sonny? This is nice now, I can have like a bit of a conversation with people. Yes, you too. Well, I'll post it when it's finished. I'll post it online and you'll be able to see it for sure. Nice to meet you. Oh, Mark's on here again. Hello, Mark. Can't actually see who all the... Have you done any art recently? If you've done some art recently, feel free to send it to me. It's always nice to see your art. Just trying to think how... If I do this one, right, and then I'll do... Oh, I've got a little bit more yellow up there. Right, okay. I need to use the white one. Oh, for a minute there. Maybe one day. Reggie, bless. Yes, you too, Sonny. If you're still there, take care. All the way in Canada. It's nice to have somebody from Canada on. Right, so... I think I'll just... Oh no, there we go. Definitely need some new equipment. Brushes just tend to get like broken so quickly. Still looking quite abstract. I hear you, but we'll get there and it won't be abstract forever. Probably, well, if I can, probably going to do some work on this. in the week sometime. Though I say every week that I will paint, and recently it's not happened so much, which is really, really sad. But we're starting to work in the shapes, if you can see that. I'm probably going to put some more white in as well, using the yellow and the brown to kind of get those shapes, if you can see that. I'm trying to see which ones you can see. Yeah. Gonna need quite a lot of paint to kind of pull out the what I'm trying to do. Do you know what I was going to do? I was going to put music on in the background. So next week we'll have some music in the background, and yep, I was just about to drink my paint water. We'll have music on in the background whilst I paint, which would be nice, won't it? Oh, obviously royalty free and all that. So I just want to, so that you can see what I've been doing. And these paints are a little bit watery. Now see if I can. No, and that needs to be. Probably going to have to put quite a few coats of the yellow on it, because we've done the background, so now we need to kind of like cover over the background, if you know what I mean. Let's do one more. So I've got this one over here. So we're going to put a little bit of yellow and a little bit of green on here. You one more. Ah, Snita. Nice of you to join. I'm just going to do a little bit more of this. I just want to get one leaf. So at this point, as we've got a few people on who are locals, I'm going to tell you about our Come Paint With Me event on the 18th of see, if you add two colours together, automatically that just makes it more thicker, makes the paint thicker. So maybe we'll do that. We'll put because then what we're going to do is we're going to pull it back and we're going to make it more yellowy again. So we use the white as an outline to start with, but we're going to probably use the brown as more an outline eventually. Interesting, this bit here. Wow, it's interesting. I can see how the brown, the top of it turns brown. Wow, literally. So you can get that. You can get a leaf that's like yellow, but then it turns brown. So that's what you've got here. So then I'm going to do some brown around it again, because that just, and actually that itself is actually another, it's another leaf, that brown one. So these brown ones round it are actually other leaves, and then it's what it's showing me is for it to be white. So it's showing me, So I'm gonna take quite a thin brush. We've got this one. I'm gonna see if we can. And you probably can't see that on the on there. Actually, don't know if it's like green. I don't know if it actually is. It's more of a green. It's more of a green. Right, so easy to destroy brushes. So we've got this almost need to put the green over it. No. Sometimes that's the thing with it, really can be like trial and error, and it doesn't always look like the what you want, like how you planned for it to look. It doesn't always look like that. So do one more. I mean, that does look. I don't want to use lots of white. I don't want to put the white out because I'm about to finish. But it's got kind of like this, like the veins are white. And then it goes yellow again. So I've shut up a bit because I'm concentrating. It goes yellow again here. So I'll put some green out here now. I just want to use that green. But maybe sometimes, you know, you're just going over and over and over it, and then eventually you're like, ah, cracked it. It's funny, you know, I saw some patterns earlier, but now I'm seeing different patterns. So there's one here, so I'm just going to use a yellow, because what I thought was, so we've got that one, but then we got one that comes down like this. And it just kind of around like that. And this one here is like brown. So it's actually brown. I'm using a very thin. Let me use maybe a tiny bit of water. This is just like a brown leaf. So we have quite a lot of brown leaves. In actual fact, I'm gonna paint yellow and green, but there's quite a lot of brown in it as well. So you've got all these white outlines, but then in the end it's like, oh, actually it looks a bit different to that. I'm just going to put some green on this as well, just because I'm going to get rid of my green. I might put my green on some other ones actually. Should just be able to see more, but I mean it won't be that green because, well, leaves this time of year are not green. They're yellow and they're they're yellow and they're brown. So a lot of the leaves on this picture are going to be brown. It's going to be very brown. But some of it is you want to cover the background, don't we? And if I do them, you know, like this, then you can tell that they're leaves. And sometimes brown is closest to green. But I could probably so half of the leaf is brown and half of it is yellow. You come back next week and it's going to look very different. So I think I'm going to do some leaves brown. Yeah, so to finish off, and you know, originally I was thinking about this just being like a molly piece, so like painting molly over the top, but it's probably just going to be leaves, and we're probably going to do molly another day. You may see that she figures quite a lot in because I'm using a very different easel today. I'm using my paint holder. So I've got one down here, and this is like a leaf itself. You know what, I quite like that, what I've done there. But of course it's got to look autumn. So, right, to be honest with you now, I'm just getting rid of the brown. This leaf in the corner is brown. And I can have lots of light different shades on it. And lots of light whites, and it's actually probably going to be a different shade of brown to this. Well, so now you can see it's not just a background. You can see that, you know, there's the leaves are the shape of the leaves is starting to take shape. And it is well. We've been going. I think we've been going for about an hour. So I'm going to sign off. I have a YouTube channel, so please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like, comment, share this post. And I put lots of posts on during the week, different questions, different things I'm talking about. Put some of my art on there. Please like, comment, share those as well. And because I've got this thread on my YouTube, it talks about the journey to becoming a famous artist. Quite far away from that at the moment, but you never know. One day I may be closer, or may get some way to there, or all the way there. I'm determined, though, to become a famous artist this side of eternity. So yes, watch that space. Shall see you next week on Come Paint With Me, and very soon, and maybe next week and maybe the week after, we will be opening a Zoom room so that we can paint together, because this is Come Paint With Me and it's all about painting together. So lots in the pipeline, and I will see you next week at 8 o'clock. I'm going to upload this to YouTube, and so you'll be able to watch it again on YouTube really soon. Alright, good night, God bless. See you soon. Bye bye for now. And bye bye Facebook. Thank you everybody for joining in. Thank you, Reggie, for being the what do you call it? Oh, just stand away. This is where we're at the moment. The moderator, and I will see you all next week. Like, comment, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if would be so grateful if you would comment and stuff during the week, not just on Facebook but also on Instagram as well. Alright, take care. See you soon. Good night. God bless.